Okay, we've got the eyebrows in, we've got the nose in. We're working on shaping the face, and I went ahead and drew the line. So what you want to do is just cut a line here. You're going to undercut it under the bottom part of the face, and then up here where his sideburns are going to be, you're just going to kind of go in a little bit, like a big V cut. Ouch. Big V cut. Okay, I thought I cut myself on that knife there. But all is well. Alright, so what we're doing is we're just cutting in both sides of the face here and bringing this down to the front here and having this stick out a little bit in the back. That's where his ear is going to be. We're going to bring this down and we're going to trim this all down a little bit. Alright, we're just going to trim this down. Just like so. Same thing over here. Alright, the other thing we're going to do here, let me spray it. It's just, this wood's just a little tough on me today. It's a little drier than some of my other stuff. Alright, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to take the nose area here, a little bit below that, and we're going to just put a little V cut, just like so. Alright. We'll do the bottom part of his mustache first, and then we'll do the other side here. Like I said, it's a little difficult to put these lines on when you spray this, so this is going to come down a little bit further, a little bit more of a curvature, kind of match it up a little bit. So we're going to take our knife and we're going to push it in kind of far, and then we're just going to follow that all the way to the edge of his face there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Nice and deep. And then we're going to follow this all the way out to the edge of his face. Now, if it doesn't match, you can lower one side or shorten the one side. You can adjust it a little bit later. Okay, this comes out. Alright, and then we're going to follow this just like so. Follow. See how that one looks. That one needs to go up a little bit more, maybe. There we go. Yeah. And this comes out just like so. Alright. So that's the first part. And then the second part is from the nose down to that point. You know, we're going to bring this up a little bit of a curvature there. See, just like so. The side of the nose, we're going to come down and then curve it back up a little bit. Oh, that doesn't look right. Over further. Okay, over further. There we go. Alright, that might do it. Let's do one side and we'll try to match the other. That's the hard part about carving. You know, it's once you get one side done, you think it's really good, and you try to match the other side, it can be a little bit of a challenge, for sure. You know, and that's kind of normal, so we're going to just notch that out there. Alright. Same thing over here. We're going to just come down, kind of try to follow it the same way, and make it as close as possible to the other side. It doesn't always work, but you know, we do our best with what we got. Alright, that's just part of carving. You kind of work with what you have. I'm just going to try to bring that eyebrow up a little bit. Alright, and then I'm going to try to do it from the other side. We'll kind of clinch it out of there. You're doing like one big V cut there. Alright, I'll make that a little bit deeper, but you have the idea. And then this comes down, you know, we round this up a little bit. We're going to sweep this out. We're going to put a little mouth in there a little bit later, but we're going to just kind of sweep that out. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Alright, so his face is almost done, but there's a lot more. When I do carvings like this, you know, I always go back and I recut stuff a little bit deeper or a little bit more, you know, distinguish where the lines are and where the where stuff is, or make it a little bit deeper underneath the neck and such. And so really the hardest part is doing these two. To me, it's doing the hat and the head and the face. You know, they usually are covered with something. His ears need to come in here, so let's do that for a second. And this is, again, the tough part, because you have to kind of make the ears, just make a nice big C shape, backward C. Alright, and same thing over here, backward C. And kind of look and see if, put your fingernail at both places, does it look about the same? Yes and no. This side is much further out, so we're going to trim this down a little bit more. Okay. Alright, so that's the kind of thing you constantly do. And I know this looks a little dark. It's because I'm spraying it. And the lighting is a little darker today. I'm sorry about that, but I think you can pretty well see most of the detail that I have there. Okay, so when you're doing this, you want to just go back with a nice detail, sharp detail knife, and just kind of re-emphasize where those lines are. Okay, you just want to go back, take your time. You need to wet it a little bit, that's fine. Now this, of course, is going to have a little bit here. We're going to go up like that, and then we're going to bring this down to there. That's going to be the eyebrow and the sideburn. Okay, and the same thing over here. We're going to bring this down almost to where that is, and then that's going to come down, and that's going to go across. And it's going to be a little bit above. There's going to be a little bit of a flush area between the sideburn and the mustache. But when I get offline, I have a lot of glare on this today, and I don't know why that is. I thought the lighting was pretty well the same, but it's because I know what it is. It's because this stuff is dry, this stuff is wet, and it shows up a little bit brighter. Alright, so that's what that looks like. Let's see about putting the eyeball in. Alright, what I'm trying to do is just establish where the eyeballs are going to go, and I think I found it here. So, the other thing we can also do is we can also start trimming the hat a little bit, taking that hard edge off from the top of the hat. Okay, kind of working our way towards, give it a little bit of a slope. And again, if you wet it, it makes it a much easier process. As you can see, it goes through almost like butter. Alright. Just taking your time with it, you know. And going from the edge over is easier than going away from it, because you might chip it out. So work towards the center. See, my time's almost up here, so let me just finish this up and we'll take a look at it. See, now it's starting to look like a fireman's hat, a little bit better. And then we're going to round it off a little bit on the bottom, just a tad. We can even bring this in a little bit too. Okay. Alright, so we keep working on this. You can keep putting it a little bit at a slant. You notice how I'm pushing with using my thumb as leverage. It doesn't really, I'm not pushing with this hand at all.